We're trying something a little bit different once again today. Yeah, I've got the other device, so you are, well, yeah. The phone is being a little bit away from the dash, if you will. And I do have the windows cracked, so you might hear the occasional aircraft or vehicle out here. So just giving you a heads up, you may hear the occasional outside noise because of where we are next to a busy highway. But it is what it is. And so I've got the thing set. All right, let me know. Okay, just let me know. I'm trying to, yeah, I can see the clock. So that's what I'm trying to make sure is that I'm able to see the clock on this side. Even though I know I'm going to pull this up, do our usual engineering check. And I'm going to give y'all progress report here in just a moment. Oh, yeah. Oh, I got a tip for y'all, too. For whoever is detoxing also. Yeah. For the chosen one, we break generational curses. And that includes breaking cycles. Okay. There you go. All right. And so we're checking everything out. All right. Okay. I will share with you all that where we're at right now, this hairstyle. Yeah. I had this hairstyle during one of my modeling seasons. Yes, I sure did. And I said, oh, that's right. Okay. So nothing new. But anyhow, a progress report for you all. We know what's going on here now. Yep. Because, as we continue to heal and get things back into alignment where they belong, it gets easier to figure out what's going on in certain places of the body for self-care. And so what we figured out is going on here is that because when the choker got tightened, okay, when the choker got tightened before I was dragged down the step, yeah, it left an imprint, which, when you go to the grocery store, if you put the grocery bag across your arm, right, and it leaves it in, okay, well, that's what's going on there. So it's going to heal. It's just circulation has to be more consistent in that area. Now, what that means is that we see the coloration and we feel when the heats up. So that tells us that there's some excess salt hanging out there. So we know what to do to self-care. So that's for somebody, whoever needs it. If you are on this detox journey with us and you're experiencing something like that and you notice, wait a minute, just check the heat factor under here, okay? And yeah, and so cooling towels and things like that. And so for the tip I have, if you are on the detox journey with us and you notice your feet getting hot, okay? Yes. If you notice your feet getting hot, okay, there's two places of the body where heat will like to escape naturally, and that's through the top of the head and the bottoms of the feet. So if your feet are continuously getting hot, guess what? Just like the cooling towel tip that I've given y'all for trauma healing, dampen one of these things and roll it up, put it in the fridge for about 24 hours. And then you have a nice cooling towel. You can use that here. Yep. But cooling socks. Yep. I said, oh man, why not? So you get a pair of your socks. Okay. If you've got a decent pair of socks, maybe it goes up over the ankle. Okay. And yeah, get them damp, wring them out. We already tried and true, y'all. Tried and true. I'm bringing it. Get a pair of your socks. Okay, clean. Preferably clean pair. All right, dampen those up. Then wring the excess water out. If your feet are getting too hot, if your feet are aching after walking and things like that, that means they're getting too hot. So you want to get them cooling socks out of that fridge. Yep, put them in the fridge for 24 hours. Get them nice and cold. Get them socks out. After you get back from your walk, if your feet are feeling a little achy, put them cooling socks on and get them feet up. Oh, I'm telling you. Yes. Okay, you're going to feel a lot better. Cool them suckers down. Be mindful now. I mean, don't think that, and then da-da-da-da-da-da. No, take your time. Right, take your time, but that's going to help a lot, because when stuff gets too hot in the body, it slows down circulation. That's why you're feeling the ache. You got air pockets pushing up against you. That's where the ache is coming from, because of the heat. So you want to cool it down. See? Yeah, don't be going and taking none of that crap. Now, if you've got some boswellia, natural herbs, okay, yeah, you can take some of that. But I would not recommend other stuff. Read the ingredient. So there you go. Well, if you've got a warm feet or hot feet, okay, you said it's time for bed. All right, well, hey, whatever works for you. I'm talking about like during the day. Well, you're up and about and you find your feet getting too hot. Get some cooling. Yeah, I could set a pair of socks, dampen them up. Yeah, get them a little bit wet, put them in the fridge, let them get nice and cold. Thank y'all for hitting this thumbs up. See, whenever I see people coming in and they stay for a while and they don't hit the thumbs up, hey, fellow warriors, we know what they are, right? Yeah, they monitoring spirits. All right. Well, socks in the fridge will be a nice surprise if you share your home. Yeah. But it works. Okay, it works. Okay, it takes the ache out of your feet. You feel much better. Now, that being said, generational curses, you all remember, I told y'all the trauma bond. That is the curse. Okay, the trauma bond to the world is a large part of the generational curse. I mean, you think about the generational curses with the narcissistic family, and you think about that, and you're like, oh, right, you got to break those trauma bonds. So breaking trauma bonds on the individual level and then to the world, you're breaking generational curses. But I want to talk specifically about, what else that means, because it includes breaking cycles. Breaking cycles. Because one thing we realize is that the narcissistic matrix and narcissists are what? They're stuck on repeat. Right, a repetitive cycle. Day in and day out. It's Groundhog Day. Well, for chosen one, outside of the workforce, for those of you who are still in the workforce, okay, outside of that, we learn to switch things up. So while we've got our live streams, Saturday, today, Sunday, and then Tuesday's podcast, right? And then Monday's motivational message. We've got 4 set in stone around a certain time. And if we're not going to be live, I'll let y'all know in the YouTube community. And so, yeah, thank you for hitting the thumbs up, because this is very important to understand as part of breaking generational curses. We're breaking cycles, because the devil is all about repeat. That's all he knows. Remember, there's nothing new under the sun. Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9. Nothing new under the sun. So we watch patterns. Y'all know by now, them patterns tell a story. So when you catch on to a pattern of thing, okay, pay attention, because the devil wants to keep people in that kind of a time loop, because he himself is stuck in the time loop. When God gave the devil the boot out of heaven, this narcissistic matrix, y'all, is stuck in a time loop on repeat. Again, remember, I said, look at the calendar. It's going to be the same stuff. You already know. They might have, listen, the true blue new year don't start till April 1st. But because it is a fallen Babylonian narcissistic matrix, all right, it wants you to celebrate the pagan traditions. It wants you to celebrate, okay, fine, whatever. But a lot of us don't anymore. But if you got kids, we understand that. I'm talking about, if you look at the calendar, you already know that you got this holiday coming up, this holiday, and marketing is all about those holidays. If you pay attention out there, pay attention to all of the, oh my gosh, all of the things surrounding. I've learned in the Matrix that 3 months before a particular holiday, they start putting merchandise out. They start planting that seed. That's how they do it. About 3 months in advance. Yep, pay attention. So, for instance, like the next holiday, at the time of this recording, the next holiday is considered Valentine's Day. Okay, well, I started seeing the Valentine's Day stuff, being put out before Christmas of 2024. You pay attention. It wasn't a whole big display yet, but it was out just enough to start planting that seed in the subconscious. You see, that's how the Matrix does it. That's a cycle. And so we break that cycle, right, by no longer celebrating that stuff. I mean, think about it. One day a year to celebrate someone you supposedly love? How does that make sense? I mean, come on now, somebody, make that make sense in the comment below, because it don't. One day a year, just like that whole Thanksgiving hoax. One day a year to give thanks, when God tells us clearly that we are to give thanks daily. Why? That doesn't make sense. Why one day a year, everybody gonna get together and, oh, that's the day you're gonna try to be thankful for something? When we should be thanking God every single day. When we put our feet on the floor, God opens our eyes. That should be the first thing we think is thank you, Heavenly Father, for another day. The first thing that we should be thinking. That's right, God first. Thank God for another day. That should always be first. And then be thankful for the things you have. Because what to come from God is so much better when you are thankful for what you have already. But we break that cycle by not celebrating that stuff. It's a bunch of garbage. I mean, to go and get roses and candy and stuff for somebody you supposedly love one day a year. Why? If you truly and genuinely love that person, why is it got to be on that one day? Why not once a week you go home with flowers for your loved one? I mean, what's wrong with that? It's not something you got to do every day, but I understand, financial budgets and all, but why just one time a year? Think about that for a moment. It don't make sense. If you truly and genuinely love somebody, it should not have to be a one time a year, one day out of the year, to recognize that. No, it no longer sticks with me. And I know that many of us, because we were conditioned to do all of that till we knew better. But it doesn't. So they do that, though. 3 months in advance, they start planting seeds for the next holiday. Because there's still a lot of sleepers out here who continue to play the game. Just like we were until God awakened us, chosen one. Again, thank y'all for hitting the thumbs up. Because fellow spiritual warriors for Christ are going to understand that you're not just breaking generational curses here. You're breaking cycles. And that's a big way right there. We stop participating in those kinds of activities because we start questioning not just the legitimacy of it all, because a lot of the history that's behind all of these things been made up. It's not real. Don't give me no line about pilgrims and Indians. I don't buy it anymore. I don't believe it. Nope. I purged that from my subconscious a long time ago. That's for some of y'all right there. Purge it from the subconscious. Whatever you were taught about that particular holiday for Thanksgiving, forget about it. Unlearn it. Because true thanksgiving is every day in the kingdom of God. Thankful for the day, thankful for the roof over our heads, thankful for this phone holder. I'm thankful for the vehicle. I'm thankful for this bottle of water. Every day should be Thanksgiving. And that's what God's talking about. When you see the word Thanksgiving in the Bible, it's not capitalized. It shouldn't be. Because it's talking about giving thanks daily. Okay? Not whatever made up history crap. We don't buy it no more. I don't anyway. Yeah, April 1st being the true new year. Well, when you think about human nature, why do you have a brand new year starting in the middle of winter or right after in winter when it's cold and it's technically considered hibernation season? April, when things start to, spring forth, it starts to warm up, it starts to bloom, right? There you go. That's why. Okay, that's why April 1st, the true new year. Okay, and so, okay, if chosen one have children, generational curse skip us and pass to our children. No, listen, chosen ones, once you become aware of the fact that you are a generational curse breaker, your child will not grow up the way you did. You will know when your child's experiencing something that you've experienced, let's say out there at school, what have you. You'll know, and you'll know how to handle it. Okay? Because you are the generational curse breaker. It stops with us. So when chosen ones have children, yeah, it stops. Our child is not going to be burdened with the generational curse that we had on earth. We break trauma bond. We don't allow our child to get trauma bonded. That's how we do it. Okay? So it's like my inner child, for a good example here, our autonomic nervous system being our inner child. I am working with my inner child right now to make sure that she does not get trauma bonded to anything, meaning I'm making sure that my physical body does not develop any new dependencies on things external. Ding, 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 right there. I am making sure that my biological body is not developing any new dependencies, physical dependencies on things external. That's how we do it. Knowing that the God on the inside is all we need, and that what we're doing is some of the bad habits that we carried with us for so many years, yours truly, we're breaking that. So we're breaking cycles, okay? Because that's part of the generational curse. And so, yes, we've made progress there too. That's right. So we continue with that to break that cycle. And it had to be intentional. So whenever you recognize a pattern, you recognize a cycle that needs to be broken. Right. There you go. Right. You want to surprise your partner. There you go. That. Right. There you go. Okay. It is. Well, and it's not just that day. It's not just that holiday, everybody. All the so-called holidays are about marketing. Okay, so there's a lot of people out here who are just selling a bunch of stuff for all of these holidays, and that's really what it's a cycle. It's stuck on repeat. That's why I told y'all every year. Yeah, every year. It's the same old, so you know, right? And so we quit playing. And so when we quit playing, it's like, okay, well, we quit playing. They continue to. All right. Well, we got to remember that there are fellow chosen ones that God hasn't awakened yet. So we were once there too, so we don't forget that either. But we do break those curses and we break the cycle by not allowing them to repeat once we catch on. And I'm going to provide y'all with a real world example here. All right. When I first started healing from the physical assault and I landed in the extended stay hotel room okay? The first one, before I had to get moved into a new unit because of some dust issues, okay, that I was not aware of, as far as how bad it was in their eyes. Anyhow, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Anyhow, well, remember, the narcissistic matrix, like narcissists, they make mountains out of molehills. So, yeah, it's a big deal to them, but it wasn't to me. But I knew exactly what it was. I said, you got salt that's in the dust, you have a little moisture, and you have some air. You have a chemical reaction going on. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's it. And it's just basically keeping the air a little bit more moist than it should be, which in turn keeps oxygen out of the air. Anyhow, so that being said, when I landed in that room, before all that started happening though, all right, and I didn't know at the time, we were running on our adrenaline. But that's okay. We had to keep going. We had to figure some things out. We had to get settled. And so we went, we got what we needed. We got, dishes, we got pots and pans, we got ourselves moved in. And I realized, well, moving from that room to the next one where we are now, because of that dust issue, but I had to replace a lot of things. And I had to declutter as well. And so it felt so like repeat, because when I left the ex-psycho roommate and I moved back right to that house in North Carolina, I had to do a lot of replacing of devices and things like that because he tampered with a lot of stuff. So all that felt so friggin' familiar. I was like, what is going on here? I said, this is a cycle. I said, this is a repeat. I should not have to do this over and over and over again each time I move. I said, this don't make sense. So we're breaking the cycle. What we did is we figured out how the dust occurs. Animated thought molecules, like I share with y'all on the Patreon channel. Yep, I got you some real world. How the paint how the dust and the paint all come together, and it forms this little thing, and it has a little like diamond, or like a diamond shape or a triangle, okay, in the middle. And then it starts to move to the earth slow rumble, moving around. And so the more it moves, the more dust it collects for its food, right? It starts to turn color, starts to cook because it's getting hot. There's enough moisture in the air for that to happen. And so it starts to, and it starts to turn color. And depending on the chemical makeup of the salts that it is consuming, it depends. It might become what's known as a roach or a water bug or a gnat. Or one of them little bitty ones that likes to come down from a web. Yeah, it depends on the chemical makeup or which one it becomes. I found it to be very fascinating. And the one that I share with y'all on the Patreon channel that had the little snout, and it's not hot outside. That's the thing. It is not hot outside. I'm telling y'all, it's not. I mean, the sun's not even shining in here. So the only thing I can figure is I've got the windows cracked. It might not be as breezy, but still, it's not hot outside. I mean, it's not. So I think it's my own detoxing that overheated in here. So okay, reminds you of the movie. Okay, well, you got to remember that, the sun's peeking out here and there, but that's not making it hot. I would tell y'all that there's a magnesium therapy that's going on right now. So that's relaxing. There's a lot of salt that got stored up in this body from that physical assault and until I could become aware of it. And the muscle tension and the bruising, that was a lot of salt that got stored inside this body. So I'm not surprised as we are, as the muscles are starting to relax and healing is taking place, as the detox goes on, it looks like a hot flash, but it's not. I got to tell y'all, that crap don't exist. These are radio frequency symptoms. See, y'all got to understand something. That Jezebel case study, the only thing she could do was cause my body's internal environment to mimic radio frequency poisoning. In other words, putting bruises in places that would, cause tense muscle, extreme muscle tension all over the body to keep circulation impaired. What that did was it made it seem as though I'm being radio frequency poisoned all the time, when I'm not. See, I'm aware of when it's happening. I'm aware of when the zaps occur. I know where the zap days are. The only reason any of that frequency out there would have any effect on me is because of the pre-existing bruising in places and extreme muscle tension that's holding on to excess salt. So it's taken my body just a little bit longer to detox because of that. And so I believe it's my own body heat from all that salt that is working its way out now. And so you have to, you got to keep that in mind. Because what the Jezebel case study did, she knew exactly what she was doing. The bruises that she put in place, armpits, found those. The back of the knees, that main nerve for your gluteal muscle. I found it. Yeah. I started taking care of that bruise a while ago. So y'all, bear with me. I appreciate y'all's patience. But yeah, I had to become aware of the bruising so I would know where to self-care. And that's what it's been like over the last year here. That's what we're doing. Self-care. And so when we find some place on the body that is exhibiting extreme muscle tension, that's preventing proper circulation so that the body detoxes as it's supposed to, then I apply some magnesium. I apply a little bit of magnesium and I start massaging. I help get that muscle tension out, so circulation, to get that excess salt out. It's a lot of salt. I'm gonna tell y'all, man, when you talk about the average, salt consumption keeping people in a fever-induced state. See, that's another cycle we break, chosen ones. That's another cycle we're breaking, because I've recognized the cycle. I said, oh my gosh, I remember feeling this way a good part of my life. I remember feeling this way a good part of my, it's called awareness. See, when you become aware, then you know what to do to self-care. And mind you, no, none of it comes with any extreme pain or anything like that. There is no pain and suffering going on. Glory be to God. Yeah, there's no pain and suffering. We're just figuring it out. Oh, okay. And so we know that we've got salt that is being held up in there. It's got to work its way out, whether we sweat or ice pack, keeping things cool, popsicles, yeah. So we know what to do here. And it's working its way out. We figured it out. We figured out, okay, and we figured out why she targeted the parts of the body that she did. Aside from her being jealous and hateful and all that, trying to disfigure us, despite all of that, we figured it out. God revealed it. God's been showing me some stuff. For example, on my walk yesterday, I saw somebody, he was running. He's a jogger. I'd never seen him before, but he was taking a break, and I had not seen this move for stretching for stretching your gluteus minimus, really, well, or the whole gluteus, every area, your buttocks, for stretching it. I saw him doing a stretching move where he's swinging his leg back and forth. I hadn't seen that. And then he did a stretch I hadn't seen before. See, glory be to God, because God had me round that corner and make sure I saw, because I was wondering what other stretches and things might I be able to do a little at a time. And he showed me that, and I said, oh, I said, God, try that when I get back to the room. And lo and behold, sure enough, it stretched out the upper inner that needed to be stretched. I said, glory be to God. Because I've been watching other trainers and stuff on TikTok, and I hadn't come across that move yet. I said, oh, okay. And so a little at a time, a little at a time. But that's exactly what she did. Yeah, she pinched that nerve right behind the knee that goes up the middle and your pelvic area for your gluteus max. Oh yeah, she pinched it on both knees behind, because I found the indentation. I said, that ain't supposed to be indented like that. And so I got the mirror out, and I'm looking, I went, oh, I said, that's a nice bruise. So I got these little ice thingies that go on the fingers. All right, well, I started putting it back there. See? Chosen one, we break cycle. We think outside the box. We know how to self-care. And so we've been taking care of that for a long time. It don't hurt. There's no pain with any of it. It's just basically got to get the bruise out, and we just got to rub that muscle. We got to rub it. Got to rub it. Get that muscle tension out. Right, loosen the, because the hip muscle was very, very tense. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize it until we had to peel back some layers, and I said, my gosh, wow, underneath all that, that's some pretty tense muscle there. So you got to, inside that tense muscle is a lot of salt. And so that's what's happening. My own body, that's that salt. So, yes, okay, that is it right there. She's trying to trigger all glands. All the glands responsible for producing saliva. Your tonsils that are responsible for, it's all part of the immune system, right? Every gland possible, she targeted, okay? Exactly. Basically trying to, you know how their brain is wired backwards? Okay, she was trying to wire my body backwards, basically, because that would totally screw up my body's digestion and circulation going forward if I didn't know about it. You see what I'm saying? If my ANS had stayed numbed and I wasn't aware of it, oh my gosh. Oh, I don't even want to think about the issue that I could face. But it ain't gonna happen. God says, not his chosen ones. We break generational curses, and we're breaking the cycles, and that's a part of it. That's why I've been experiencing the cycles of, oh, I recognize feeling this way. Oh, whoa, wow, okay, I recognize feeling this way. Because as the layers of salt exit the body from the inside now, okay, well, it can be, but that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. She was not physically strong enough to do any permanent or major damage or anything, okay? She was not allowed to break anything. So what she did, all she had to do was press very lightly, just get the process started, because she knew that when I was out and about, if I didn't know that the bruises were where they are, I'm going to move, I'm going to put furniture together, I'm going to move this, I'm going to use that muscle, I'm going to, right? She was hoping that I would make all the bruises worse than they really are. But glory be to God that we started becoming aware of them right on time. Remember, God is a just-in-time God. Okay? And then there's some areas where there's bruising that, oh, well, it'll do what it's going to do. But it's not hurting anything. There's no hurt. Okay? There's no hurt. So I need y'all to understand that. There is no pain. There is no suffering. Although the devil would want to see it otherwise. He would want, he liked to see pain and suffering. And so that's why I know that those Jezebels like to check in here once in a while to see if there's any pain and suffering. No, there isn't. But all about perception. So like if I get out of the car after sitting for a little bit and I have to work out a little bit of stiffness, well, that's because circulation got slowed down. But as soon as I start moving and get up and around again, that stiffness goes away because circulation's picking back up. It's a no-brainer. Because excess salt is a stiffener, which hence why all those muscles got so stiff in the first place. Yeah. All that excess salt being held in those muscles was keeping those muscles nice and stiff. So we had to gradually loosen them here and there. A little here, a little there. Not all at once. Definitely not all at once. Remember, God guides our step. We're not stupid. We're not stupid. And so we get back into the weight training and stuff a little at a time. Low impact to start and then work our way up. So I need y'all to understand that too. So, as far as salt being in any kind of, okay, and does it contain salt? And that I don't know. You can look that up. If you look those up and you see the ingredient list, the most common general ingredient list for those, if you see the word sodium of any kind, then yes, because sodium of any kind is a salt. So there you go. All right, everybody. So just know that's that. And so that's why I think I think it was largely because, like I said, I've got the windows cracked here. That's why I said y'all might hear the occasional aircraft or vehicle or something like that out there. So with the phone getting too hot, where I've got it located, and the sun not being right in the car, and it's not hot outside, the only conclusion we have is my own body heat that is contributing to the overheat. That's it. Because we are sweating a little bit while we detox. It is what it is. So, okay, there you go. Some resistant band for strengthening. All right, there you go. There you go. Yep, and you start with the low one first, and then work your way up. Yep, start with the small one. Yeah, they have three, right? They have light, medium, and heavy with those resistant band. I've got a medium and heavy one. The light one we're done with. So, yeah, because, well, and then we started with the 3-pounders. We still do the 3-pounders when we walk and some other things, but for the most part, we are now on the 5-pounders when it comes to. So you work your way up. You start small and then work your way up. Okay? That's how it starts. You right. And even when God says pick up where you left off, you're still going to start, because it's like you're not starting over from scratch. Remember that. You're starting from experience, but when you haven't done workouts or weight training or anything in a while, you do want to start small and work your way up. Absolutely. So, yeah. See, chosen ones are smart too. Not only do you break generational curses, and along with that, you break cycles, but you also, you're smart. You think outside the box, but you just know because God is guiding your steps. See, and so that's why I want to tell y'all. I believe that's a big part of why the phone did what it did is my own body heat. It is what it is. So yeah, no, because God revealed to me, y'all, another reason why the Jezebel case study did that is because the Matrix has a lot of people. Okay, if a female, and I know they say male go through it too. I don't know how, but okay, it's believed that if you go through what's called menopause, which is radio frequency symptoms, and it's your circulation returning. That's what the pricklies are. It's your circulation returning. But see, if you don't know that, it can be very uncomfortable. Anyhow, if you go through that and then you believe you're going through that whatever, okay, and 6 years of that can basically stress your vagus nerve out to a point where it will no longer go back to the parasympathetic relaxation mode to allow your body to sweat normally. Even though you do a lot of that during the so-called cycles, okay? And that's what the Jezebel was trying to do, is make me think that I'm not having hot flashes. Those don't exist. This is detoxing that's happening. Okay? Yeah, hot flashes don't exist. This is the body detoxing from excess salt. And so we let it. But that's what, right, because the devil doesn't want people to be able to sweat, especially past a certain age, because they will eat less. They'll start taking more pills. They'll be less active on average. See, that's why I said chosen one. We break generational curse. We're breaking cycle. We are not going to be the norm. We are going to be the exception. You understand me? Let me repeat that for those of you who are monitoring in the back. We are going to be, and we are the exception, not the norm. We are not going to allow the devil and his minion to turn us into a human lab rat. Chosen ones are not meant to be human lab rats. So God revealed this to us. You be more mindful what you tell yourself. Be more mindful what you believe, because we've been told nothing but lies our whole life. Lies about who we are, lies about how we're supposed to live, a lot, and I mean a lot of lies about our health. There's a lot of crap out there that doesn't exist. It's all radio frequency poisoning. Look it up. That's the wrath of God speaking right there. Because I'm going to tell you, it takes a while. But you go through a little bit of that, oh, man, I can't believe I took those things because I thought I had this. Man, I put all those chemicals. Oh, see, the devil liked to trick us into doing it to ourselves. So we took a lot of over-the-counter crap, putting chemicals in our own body. Well, not anymore. Glory be to God. Not anymore. Nope. All natural herbs, the occasional supplement, multivitamin, that's one thing. Okay, fine. But we are not, stuff like Azo Standard. Ain't touching it. Ain't touching it. No more. Laxatives, ain't touching them. I'm telling you, there's a doctor out there. I'm so thankful that I found him on TikTok when he said that don't take laxatives. He said, just take a magnesium supplement. Because laxative will dehydrate your colon. Why do you want to do that? You know what I'm saying? So they're out there. That's not a secret. And so I'm like, remember that. But radio frequency symptoms mimic so many things out here that if you don't know about it, you're going to believe what they tell you. You're going to believe what they tell you. So chosen one, I want you to drop that in the comments below, even on the replay. Chosen ones are the exception, not the norm. Because we're not. Think about it. Narcissists are not normal anyway. But that's what's considered normal inside the matrix. Is narcissism and narcissist. All the evil, all the darkness, the doom and gloom. That's what's considered normal. The chosen one, God chose us out. We ain't the norm. We ain't supposed to be. Chosen one ain't the norm. We are the exception. And so when people want to ask me, how come I didn't go find a doctor for this or a doctor for that? Because I trust God. And I know what happened to me. I know exactly what the Jezebel case study did. God reveals everything. And it really is just a compilation of injuries that I have experienced throughout my life. The only thing is that happening all at once, that's what's different. So in other words, it's all familiar to me because I've already healed from all of it once before. Yes, when I was a truck driver for 5.5 years, man, let me tell you something. I am no stranger to a little kink in the neck. Because when I drove truck, boy, I experienced that often enough to recognize that. It'll work its way out. I experienced a pinched nerve here or there while I was a truck driver. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that profession is very hard on the body. It can be very hard on the body. So a lot of the stuff that I've been experiencing, a little bit of discomfort, but nothing major because I recognize it. I've already been through it. I've already healed from it before. So we heal from it again. If I need to get an ice pack, I go to Walmart and get me an ice pack. If I need something, as far as the self-care side of things, I'll go get it. If I need some more magnesium lotion, I'll go get it. We're not stupid. And we know we ain't got to rush to get nothing done. That's the other thing. Chosen one, when we break that cycle, that rush feeling as though you got to hurry up and go around and get all this stuff done at once. That rush of the matrix, we lose that. We break that cycle because we learn that in God's reality, there are no emergencies. There are no emergencies in God's reality. And we know that things will heal. Remember, I share this with y'all for those who need this reminder. My late grandpa even knew it. He said a wild animal knows when it's injured, it just goes and it refuses everything but water because it knows it will heal. All right, well, that's where I'm at. I got this. Listen, these bruises heal. It just takes time. You got to have patience. See, that's the difference between chosen one and narcissist. If this were to have happened to a narcissist, they'd be crying and moaning and groaning and trying to go inside that matrix to get a quick fix. Let me tell y'all something. There ain't no quick fixes inside that matrix. It's not a problem solver. God is a problem solver. Remember, chosen one, when we bounce back stronger. That's why the Lord says yes. He said everything is healing on God's time. Because I was like, man, why didn't I discover this magnesium gel sooner? And I said, oh, I know, because I wasn't ready for it at that time. See, God said I needed to peel back a few more layers. He said, I need to get you ready for this season. Because this is a different kind of season. This is a relaxation season like you've never known. And it's another season of building more patience through the tribulation, work of patience. And so, like, I found something else now. He got me doing something. Chosen one, when God had us do a new thing, we do new things. He had us do something. I said, how am I going to get that? I said, I got to get some more potassium. Well, he showed me. And so I went and we got, and it works. I'll let y'all know when God says it's time to let y'all know what it is. Right now, I got to keep it quiet. Said, but, yeah, it works. And so I'm like, okay, I got to get it. And he was like, yes, we'll get some more. And I wanted to go today. He said, no, it can wait till tomorrow. Got to learn that patience. And said, you got enough to get you through. You can go tomorrow. Or the next day. Or the next day. It's not an emergency. There are no emergencies in God's reality. So we learn to be patient. He understands the human nature. We're excited. We found something that works. We want to do more of it. Okay. And we will. One day at a time. One day at a time. Because chosen ones were the exception, not the norm. And I have to tell y'all that, all right. There we go. All right, one more time. All right, one more time. And I'm going to wrap this up now, though. It seems to be about, I don't know, every 20 minutes or so, it seems. So, we're going to go ahead and recap real quick. Chosen one, generational curse breakers, and that includes breaking cycles. So, as I shared earlier, a cycle of me having to replace items, I shouldn't have to do that every time I move, right? So we're breaking that cycle, okay? Because we had to discover what the dust issue is in these places, and we curtailed that. We had to mitigate, because I said, that's it. I said, we should not have to be replacing furniture and things like that every single time we move. That's how the devil stays in people's finances. I said, that should not even be. That should not even be breaking that cycle. And then also, other ways, okay, breaking cycles. Whenever you recognize a pattern, we'll break that cycle. And so we're going to figure out how to break the cycle of this phone heating up like it does about every 20 minutes or so. I don't know what the deal is. I am saying I think my body heat is contributing somehow, because, again, it is not hot outside. It's not hot outside. And I've got the windows cracked, so this ain't making no sense. I don't know what's up. But I will say this. For those of you watching, for those of you who tune in and watch, thank you for the watch time. Because I see that you're not hitting the thumbs up. But thank you for the watch time, because that matters too. So, you don't realize it, but if you're a monitoring spirit, you're actually helping us out. So thank you again. All right? But I also know that we have fellow chosen ones who will catch this on the replay who will hit that thumbs up. So, that's it. And I can tell you, the ones who are watching who don't hit the thumbs up, yeah, we guarantee you the Jezebel peekabooing to see how we're doing. Hey, we're doing just fine. Thank you. Glory be to God. But we got to break those cycles, okay? Recognize the pattern. Pattern tell a story. That's that. Okay? And so I know I'm going to, okay, about 20 minutes. Thank you for that confirmation, because I was thinking about every 20 minutes it seems to want to do that, which would mean 3 times within an hour. And so we got to remember that, okay, so if it wants to do that every 20 minutes, and it's not even hot outside, that's a pattern, isn't it? Yeah, that's a pattern. So we're going to figure out how to break that cycle and to keep it from doing that like it had done before. I understand that my body heat can contribute, but it's not adding up. There's a lot of things just not adding up. And so I thank you all, though, for your patience. Those of you who listen, those of you who sow into this ministry, I want y'all to know that everything that you sow into this ministry goes right back into our growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ. And for those of you who are wondering, how you can pledge a service grant, you can do so via the PayPal listed below. Yep. Got the PayPal. It's paypal.me/CHABTBW. And then there's also the Venmo link that's down below. So I said thank you to all who have pledged service grant and to all who will. And for those who wonder what is a service grant, it's what the Matrix calls a donation, but we don't like that term when it comes to financial gifts, if you will. Okay, we don't like to do that. All right, we call them service grants because that's what they are. I'm up here serving the kingdom. Okay, yes, we're up here serving the kingdom. So I just want y'all to keep on keeping on. Okay, chosen one. And when you recognize the cycle, there you go. You recognize the cycle, you break the cycle. And when you break the cycle, you got it. You got it. Exactly. And y'all, I know that there's those monitoring spirits who just want to check and see how we're doing. They just want to see, well, it's the Jezebel. They're obsessed. They can't help but peek in on live to see how we're doing. They're looking at this. They're looking at, right, and because the devil wants to see how we're doing. The devil wants to see if we are going insane. The devil wants to see if his handiwork is working. It's not. It can't. No weapon formed against thee shall prosper. So there you go. All right, chosen one. I want you to keep on keeping on. And yeah, the Patreon channel link is listed below too. We got more information for you all there. As far as real world connection to the spiritual realm, I share more of the personal testimony with you on that channel as well. You can unlock access to the exclusive content for as little as $5 a month on CHA's Patreon channel. You can also check out the digital product line that we have on the Patreon channel. That link is also listed below for quicker access as part of our movement combating radio frequencies for healthier living. That's what it's all about. So, yep, absolutely. And so I got the fan. Yes, we're going to work on that. Generational curse, the devil in our finances. Yep, got the same with needing to bail one property and having to buy new furniture, etc. for new. Yeah, exactly. We got to break that cycle. Okay, and thank you, Chris. That's it. Service grant or ministry funding. Thank you. We appreciate y'all. Those of you who are helping to fund this ministry, God bless you. And I declare and decree that it's going to be restored 100-fold because God is a promise keeper in Jesus' name. Amen. Again, the PayPal and Venmo links are listed below. Don't hesitate to reach out with any questions that you may have. And share your further insight in the comments, even on the replay, when you think about other ways that we are generational curse breakers and breaking cycles and learning how to kick the devil out of our finances where possible. That's what it's all about. Learning new things, iron sharpening iron. And thank you to fellow warrior Chris for sharing some awesome funnies at CHAacademybtbw.com. That was a good one, by the way. Actually, they all were good. And the last one about the vacation behind the fridge, that got a loud outburst. Okay, so thank you for the chuckle, and that's what we got going on at CHA Academy, btbw.com. We got more fun facts and short Bible study coming as well every week right there in the Academy Community Forum, in this growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ, sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching, listening, and for your continued support. Till next time, let's show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father, and you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen.